Hi everyone, in this video we are going to talk about Haemophilus species, specifically its epidemiology, pathogenesis, and spectrum of diseases, differentiation of Haemophilus influenzae and Haemophilus parainfluenzae biotypes, its colonial appearance and characteristics, and its key biochemical and physiologic characteristics of Haemophilus species. So first, let's have epidemiology. So the organisms that lived in normal microbiota in upper respiratory tract are Haemophilus influenzae and other Haemophilus species such as Haemophilus parainfluenzae and Haemophilus parahemolyticus. The organisms that are not part of normal human microbiota and can only be found in humans during infections is Haemophilus ducreyi. Now let's have the mode of transmission. So the Haemophilus influenzae can be transmitted from person to person through respiratory droplets and endogenous strains. Whereas Haemophilus ducreyi, it can be transmitted also from person to person, but through sexual contact. And the other Haemophilus species, such as Haemophilus parainfluenzae and Haemophilus parahemolyticus, can be transmitted through endogenous strains. Now let's have the differentiation of Haemophilus influenzae and Haemophilus parainfluenzae biotypes. The Haemophilus influenzae, these are the biotypes that belongs to this organism. We have biotypes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Whereas in Haemophilus parainfluenzae, it is also the same. The biotypes that belong to these organisms are biotypes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. In indole test, all Haemophilus influenzae are indole positive except the biotypes 3, 4, 6, and 8. All Haemophilus parainfluenzae are indole positive except biotypes 1, 2, 3, and 5. For the ornithine decarboxylase test, all Haemophilus influenzae are positive except biotypes 5, 7, and 8. In Haemophilus parainfluenzae, all Haemophilus parainfluenzae are positive except the biotypes 1, 5, 6, and 8. For the urease test, all Haemophilus influenzae are negative except the biotypes 1, 4, and 5. All Haemophilus parainfluenzae are positive except the biotypes 3, 5, 7, and 8.
Now let's have the colonial appearance and characteristics of Haemophilus species. Medium, all Haemophilus species grow well on chocolate agar except Haemophilus ducreyi. All Haemophilus species has the non-hemolytic and rabbit or horse blood agar except Haemophilus influenzae, Haemophilus parainfluenzae, and a species that has a round convex with opaque zone near center is the Aggregatibacter aprophilus, and a species that has a convex, wide, smooth, or granular at 48 hours is the Aggregatibacter segmes. Now let's move on to the key biochemical and physiologic characteristics of Haemophilus species. For X factor tests, all Haemophilus species are X factor positive except for Haemophilus parahemolyticus, Haemophilus parainfluenzae, Haemophilus beckmanniae, and Haemophilus paraprohemolyticus, which are all negative. 。 . For V factor test, all Haemophilus species are V factor positive except for Haemophilus ducreae, which is V factor negative. For beta hemolytic on rabbit blood agar, all Haemophilus species are beta hemolytic on rabbit blood agar positive except for Haemophilus parainfluenzae, which is variable, Haemophilus ducreae, which is negative, and Agrigobacter aprophilus, which is negative. For catalase, all Haemophilus species are catalase positive except for Haemophilus parahemolyticus and Haemophilus parainfluenzae, which are all variable, and also Haemophilus ducreae and Agrigotibacter aprophilus, which are all negative. And for lactose test, all Haemophilus species are lactose negative except for Agrigotibacter aprophilus positive. And for glucose test, all Haemophilus species are glucose positive except for Haemophilus ducreae, which is variable, and Agrigotibacter aprophilus, which is not applicable.
And for Xylus, all Haemophilus species are Xylus negative except Haemophilus influenza positive, Haemophilus Haemophilus hemolyticus, and agrigal Agrigotibacter aprophilus or NA. And for the sucrose, all Haemophilus species are sucrose positive, except Haemophilus influenza negative and Haemophilus aegyptius negative, Haemophilus hemolyticus negative, and Haemophilus ducreae negative also. And also for Manus, all Haemophilus species are Manus but negative except Haemophilus parainfluenzae, Haemophilus pitmaniae, and Agrigotibacter aprophilus. And for the beta galactosidase, all all Haemophilus species are beta galactosidase except Haemophilus parahemolyticus, Haemophilus parainfluenzae, Haemophilus pitmaniae, Haemophilus paraprohemolyticus, and also Agrigotibacter aprophilus. And that's all. Thank you.